If it's not obvious, I'm at the Building Trades of Alberta. I have the pleasure of interviewing.
Rob Calver.
Thank you. So Rob, if it's not too much to ask of you, can you give me a brief description of what it is that you do here at the Building Trades of Alberta?
In 2020, I came on with the Building Trades after being an ironworker, and I am the Strategic Engagement and Development Director for the Building Trades of Alberta. My entire mandate is to try and build the market share back for the unions that are part of the Building Trades of Alberta. We have 18 different unions affiliated under the Building Trades. And I know you've done other interviews with other Building Trades officials. The Building Trades of Alberta is 60,000 people. We work in industrial, commercial, institutional construction. So we have the full gamut of the trades. My role is to try and increase our market share, combat against our competition. The role has morphed since I started into combating the mistreatment of workers across this province and to try and bring back the morals and the values of private unions, which is what we are. And we are constantly attacked in this province for being unions, protect the lazy. There's no need for unions anymore. And that is just ridiculous because in the markets where the union has lost their market share, abuse of workers is rampant. It's crazy. There's a lot of challenges, especially in this province. This is not a union-friendly province. We know that. This is Alberta, cowboys, rednecks, oil field. We get it. But there's still a place for all of us to make a middle-class living working in construction. I believe in it. I've lived it my whole life.
When did you get into the industry? Like, when did you become an ironworker?
My father-in-law, Joe Roy, who was a long-term member of Local 725 Ironworkers, he took me down to the Ironworkers Hall, which used to be open one Saturday a month. I met the business manager, Glenn O'Neill. Joe paid my dues, put me in the union right there without even asking me. They said, you start Monday with Fan C construction.
And you never looked back.
And I never looked back. Tied rebar, did post-tensioning, went in an ironworker competition and met my future employer. I left rebar to go into precast construction.
So to my understanding, when you were with Local 725, you kind of climbed the ranks pretty quickly. Got your journeyman ticket fairly quick, but you were just one after the other. Understandably so, because you had a family to provide for, so you weren't screwing around. It was, I need more money, I need to jump up this, and I got to make this happen.
I had to come up to Edmonton at the time, the Ironworker program. SAIT had given it up to Edmonton. Consequently, now it is offered back at SAIT and NAIT, but at the time I had to come up here. We were struggling. First year rate wasn't the greatest, but it was better than what I had been making. Came up here, stayed at the Grove Inn in Spruce Grove. It was a crazy time, but I got through that. I was already a foreman going to school. A lot of companies will say to young tradespeople, don't go to school. I'll give you foreman rate. I'll keep you. And that's a disaster.
I've seen it happen, and it still happens. There'll be guys, they will bump you up with your pay. Still a first year on paper, but they're a foreman or a general foreman with this company. I've seen where guys get mad. I mean, frustrated with the way they get treated, and they want to leave, and they go and apply at a different company altogether, and yeah, we'll give you first year. And they're like, I'm stuck. I'm stuck here because I never went to school. I can't afford now to take time off to go to school, and they just keep showing up.
You have to have that piece of paper in your pocket. Don't listen to your employer. That's why the strength of being a member of your carpenters union, ironworkers union, whoever you belong to, they increase your chances of success of getting that ticket. But a lot of us that came into the trades struggled in high school, hated exams. Exam anxiety is greater now than it was back in the 80s when I went to school. It is terrible. But we have ways now to help people get through their journey person. Go on the Building Trades website. There's study guides. There is mock tests.
Tutors, quizzes, the list goes on.
You've seen it. You've actually done some videos on that, which I appreciated, showing that there is support for tradespeople now to get through it. The most important thing that I tell young people getting into the trades right now, go to school, get that ticket. That's what we call our golden ticket. That ticket allows even myself, still holding a red seal generalist ironworker ticket, that if my boss pisses me off, I can quit.
That's the ironworker and you talking.
That's right. I can head out with that ticket, and I know that I can get a job no less than $44 an hour anywhere in Canada just by going into the union hall, showing that ticket, keeping my membership valid, having a good name. I can work anywhere in the country.
One thing I tell a lot of apprentices that work under me is the same thing. Go to school, get your ticket, because once you have your journeyman or your journey person ticket, that's yours. And if you ever get fed up with the trade, you need a break, whatever it is, maybe you're burnt out. You always have that ticket to fall back on. And like you said, whatever the going rate is, you don't have to sit there and plead with someone and be like, well, I have 20,000, 30,000 hours of experience. It's, nah, here's my ticket, take it or leave it. I think that's incredibly beneficial for someone, especially in the event where maybe they just want a dual ticket and they're pursuing a whole new apprenticeship and they hit a slow time. Well, I can just go back to scaffolding, I can go back to ironworking. And you can always keep yourself busy while becoming a dual ticket tradesperson.
And some trades are very complementary to each other. So welding and ironworking go hand in hand. The ironworkers allow for people to come back in once they have their journey person ironworker ticket and do start a welding apprenticeship. And then you're making your ironworker rate while still getting your apprenticeship out. Like, we're proud of the accomplishments that we've had, and that's one thing that young people can aspire to be, is getting that ticket. It doesn't mean you're going to be that forever. When I got into tying rebar, I knew I wasn't going to be a rod buster forever, but I'm a rod buster forever because of that ticket. So I always have that ability, just like you said. It's a fallback plan. It goes with you, and you're proud of that accomplishment. It's not as scary as what a lot of young people make it out to be, going to training school, and you get to earn while you learn. And I know that's a worn out statement.
There's truth behind it.
That's right.
The thing that's cool about this is, let's compare it to going to school to become a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist. Not everyone is cut out to be a tradesperson per se. Not everyone's going to be a lawyer, a doctor, a dentist. Like, the thing that's nice though is if you get into a trade, you're not going to go into debt. For example, becoming a doctor, tens of thousands or maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. It's, okay, I have a ticket now in my pocket where I can easily make $100,000 or more in a year if I want to work overtime. And that'll greatly vary, which you've experienced in your career.
For sure. There was a study done by the pipe fitters, I believe, that showed an 18-year-old kid getting out of high school, and one of them went to be a doctor, went into university, and right away, this kid went in to be a union pipe fitter at 18. This kid started working, and the financial gap started changing. And then second year, third year, like this, debt, debt, debt. And so those two lines moved away from each other as the 18-year-old kid got older and went into debt, going to university, work a little bit in the summer, that type of thing. By the time that doctor caught up to that union pipe fitter, 55 years old is where they drew the line. 55 years old, from 55 to 65, that doctor made bank and made a lot of money. And that interim, in the years that you want to raise your family and do all of that stuff, you have that income coming in. You don't have that debt load hanging over you. It's a real thing.
Not to discourage anyone. Like, at the end of the day,
doctors should be doctors.
Yes, and we need them. Same with teachers and all these things. So if that's something you're passionate about and something you want to pursue, 100%.
With the new talk of parity of esteem, there's an opportunity here. It's not being utilized yet, but the parity of esteem wants to recognize your journey person ticket as credits in the collegiate world, where maybe you're that much closer to a bachelor's degree and you only have to top up your red seal journey person ticket, and it gets you a bachelor's degree sooner, because that's important for us right now. We're trying to get young people to come into the trades, and we need teachers in the school system that have journey person tickets. There's a few, they're not as prevalent as what we need. So now let's just say you're 35 years old, you've been in the trade since you were 18, you've got your red seal, and you think, man, I would love to go and start teaching and working on that. If that parity of esteem recognizes your ticket, and maybe you've taken some upgrading courses and other things, or some public speaking courses, etc., maybe those courses add to your parity of esteem, recognizing your training, perhaps you can then get into teaching in the school.
The position you're in now and the contacts you've made being in the industry, what are some things you would like to tell young people who don't know anything about the trades? What would you say to people who want to get into this?
Go to the Building Trades website and go onto the Trades Hub. There's 3 different sections within that Trades Hub for people exploring, for pre-apprentices, and for apprentices that are currently going through their apprenticeship. The Explorer allows you to look into all the different trades to find what you'd be interested in. It talks about competencies. Are you good in math and science? Are you strong? Do you want to work in this industry or that industry? And it teaches you about what each trade does, because all young people know about carpenters, electricians, and plumbers. There's a lot of trades out there. There is the elevator mechanics, and it's a highly union dominated world, working on all the different elevator systems and escalators. And it's a great trade to get into, but nobody thinks about that. There are opportunities everywhere. So then once you have gone through the explore, if you want to do a pre-apprenticeship, the Building Trades offers many different pre-apprenticeships in high schools across Alberta.
For conversation's sake, let's say I'm 17 years old. I'm about to graduate. I go to the Building Trades. I go to the Trades Hub. What is this pre-apprenticeship?
Through the Educational Partnership Foundation, we run programs across Alberta where you leave for half days or full days, depending on what school board you're in, to come to a union training center and learn how to burn steel with fire, do some cool stuff out of school, and you get credits for that. It's an opportunity for you to get your hands dirty, trying some of the basic aspects of that trade. You get safety tickets that are going to allow you to go to work in the summer when you complete the program. You can use that summer work towards a registered apprenticeship program or a RAP program to get some credits. There's a lot of different ways that young people now can get into the trades, because you hit the nail on the head earlier when you said mechanics shops, etc., used to exist. Those shops are sparse now. The school board has been cut off of funding a lot of the times, and so those shops have fallen by the wayside. When new schools are built, they don't focus on the hands-on trades. So the union training centers have opened their doors. They don't charge the school board anything for it, and young people can come into our training centers and learn how to do the cool stuff that we do. More importantly, learn attitude and attendance, because that's what we're trying to teach in these programs. Show up every day on time with a good attitude. Learn how to do this stuff as a team. That's how we're going to succeed in construction. You know as well as I do, if you're blowing shifts, you're not a good part of the crew. If you're not showing up ready to go to work, you're not a good part of the crew. We want to set these young people up for success on their first 2 weeks walking in that door, because just like me, walking in that first time into that shack is intimidating. I'm telling you, to get success in the construction world, being early is important.